Call me an old warhorse if you wish, but I think our country is greatly diminished this morning. MPs cheered last night. Let's recognise the people who will be cheering this morning are President Putin, President Assad, and I have to say Nigel Farage, as Britain seems to be plunging, unless we're very careful, towards isolationism. So we want to get out of Europe, and now we've smashed a relationship with the United States. We have decided we will not join in an international coalition led by a Democrat president to stand up for international law. I think, one has to ask, what are the consequences? Special relationship, obviously seriously damaged. Britain now more isolated. By the way, why do we need armed forces any longer in these circumstances? I give you perhaps a very personal opinion. I've tried in one way or another to serve my country for more than 50 years. I have never felt more depressed, or I'm bound to say ashamed this morning that now I have to wake up and watch children burning on the television sets as they were last night, and say that the answer from my country is nothing to do with me. A bad night for the government. I think a bad night for Britain too. This country's greatness has come from its willingness to get engaged, from its understanding that what happens abroad can affect us. You go back to Churchill and you see it very clearly. This smacks of a faraway country of which I need to know little, the famous phrase about Czechoslovakia, and we know what followed there. Britain doesn't carry the weight it did, but it can carry weight. It can carry weight in terms of its armed forces, of its foreign policy, engaged with others, trying to ensure that you stand up for international law. I mean, let's take a very simple thing. So Mr. Blunt and others in the Tory party, who are the Little Englanders of our time, believe that we can just sort of pull back and become Switzerland. Last night we took a vote that we weren't going to stand up to protect international law that stops the use of chemical weapons. They will be now more broadly used unless this is changed. And do you think we'll be free of the consequences for that in an international world? I don't think so. I think in part also you see the last poison, hopefully the last poison, of the Iraq War. Mr. Blair lying to Parliament in order to go to war for the country. That was clearly a part of last night. You may be seeing a brave new dawn for Britain. Maybe I'm just an old warhorse from the past. Maybe this is some bright new future. I have to say, I can't see it. In order to survive in an internationalist world, you need to be engaged, you need to have friends, you need to have relationships. We're cutting ourselves off from Europe, and last night we cut ourselves off from the United States. So Britain alone at last, is that a prospect I really want to see? Not really.